Lots of Nigerian business people or self-employed people or people who sell on behalf of someone else assume that if they have the best solution, then that is enough to close the deal. I repeat, there are lots of you listening to the podcast now who think you should win the deal, you should close the sale because you have the best solution, because you have the best product, because you have the best service. So that's what we're going to look at today. Is that enough for you to close the deal just because you have the best or because you are the best? Unfortunately, the answer is no, because there are other things that are involved. Now, before we continue to break it down, let me introduce myself. My name is Tavershima. I'm the host of the podcast. I'm a former lawyer turned business consultant. And what I do is I solve business problems, especially from a sales and business development perspective. Then, apologies, making today's recording out and about. So you will hear noise in the background, but I'll make sure that I deliver the best quality that I can to you guys today listening to the podcast. Then if you'd love to connect with me because you have questions, comments, or queries, or you just want to connect, you can call, send me a text message or a WhatsApp message on 080-6466-2140. So, excuse me. Especially if you believe that you have the best solution and you go out into the market, but you're finding it difficult to close deals, I would love to hear from you. Again, the phone number is 080-6466-2140. So, back to the main question now. The fact that you have the best solution, the fact that you're the best, the fact that you graduated first class, the fact that, you import direct from China, direct from the manufacturer, the fact that you have the best solution, is that enough to close the deal? The answer is no, because there are lots of other things that are involved. And just to keep this podcast short and simple, I have decided to select 3 things that you need to look at before you can close the deal, even if you have the best solution. And by the way, let me point out to you guys, every time you're talking to a potential customer, the chances are that the potential customer does not even have the technical breadth, the technical know-how to even determine whether you are the best or not. And the thing is, you're not the only person running around saying you're the best. Your competition is saying exactly the same thing. And your customer, the potential client, does not even know how to figure out how. So, you're running around saying that you are the best. But so is every other person who is getting in touch with the potential customer. You're running around saying you're importing directly from the manufacturers in China. Well, guess what? So is everybody who is trying to sell to that potential customer or client. So you're running around, beating your chest, saying you're the best, touting your expertise. But that's exactly what the competition is doing. And unfortunately, your client doesn't know how to separate the wheat from the chaff. Now, to keep things very simple, I'm going to use the example of an architect. Excuse me, just because, it's a service-based business. And of course, because I went to school in Obafemi Awolowo University and I graduated from law. But those of us who are in law, in architecture, medicine, accounting, those, were the people who used to feel as if we're the cool kids. And then, obviously, in a way, somebody who graduated first class in architecture, they think they are better than the person who graduated third class or the person who graduated with a pass. So, in those fields, at least in those services, law, architecture, accounting, medicine, there is kind of this understanding that if you graduated top of your class, then you have the best solution, you have the best service, you are the best quality. But is that going to be enough for you to close the deal? But remember, the arguments that we're going to look at today apply even if you're a service provider. So if you are the best by virtue of the fact that you graduated first class, no problem. The argument still is the same. But if you are the best because you say that you import directly from the manufacturer in China and you have a direct line to them, all these things still apply. So let's get back to the main issue now. Having the best solution, is that enough to close the deal? The answer is no. Because you can have the best solution, but if you don't make the best proposal, you're not going to close the deal. You can have the best solution, but if you are not the easiest person to understand, and if you're not the easiest person to relate with, you will not close that deal. So please listen, especially for those of you who have first-class brains. These are some of the reasons why you're not closing the deal. You have the best solution, yes. Technically speaking, your product or service meets all the parameters, but your proposal was crap. You are not easy to understand, and then you also lack the skill of gaining advancement. when it comes to building relationships and how will I put it now? Trying to grow commercial relationships. Let me just put it that way. So these are 3 factors that could be blocking your path to success, even though you have the best solution. Your proposal was crap. You are not easy to understand. You're not easy to relate with. And then you have no skill when it comes to gaining advancements. So let's take these things, step by step. Now, the best proposal, right, is not based on technical parameters. Because for those of you who come from technical spaces, let's say like, let me just use Solar, my client based in Lagos, because he had a former salesperson who was sharp, very, very sharp on the technical side. And then my client, they like to import directly from the OEMs. That's the original OEM. What's that again? Original equipment manufacturer. Yes. So they would import directly from the OEMs, and everybody was technically on point. And because they were technically on point, they had this habit of sending out proposals that had all the technical gishbao inside. Now remember what I said. Your client doesn't understand all these technical details if you're in solar. And if you're an architect, the chances are your client does not understand all the technical whatever. And if you're a wedding photographer, chances are your clients don't understand all the technical thing. Framing, rule of thirds, composition, this and this and that and that and that. So if your proposal basically is the best proposal possible from a technical standpoint, but then the customer reads it and they don't understand how this solution is going to help them meet their needs or how it's going to help them in their present circumstance, then actually you do not have the best proposal. So the best proposal is not the document, the PDF, the PowerPoint slide, the whatever that is best put together, but it is the simplest document, the simplest thought process, the simplest demonstration that shows the client that this is how my solution meets your needs. This is how my solution will solve your problem. This is how my solution will act in your present circumstance. If you're able to achieve that, then you have the best proposal. And that's the reason why there are some people who can close the deal just by using a pencil and a sheet of paper. In fact, that is what I prefer. I like it when the person is sitting next to me and then we sketch them out. We are talking and I'm writing and I'm scribbling and I'm showing and I'm demonstrating. No PDF involved. No PowerPoint involved. But I'm able to use a pencil and a sheet of paper to show that, bros, I understand where you're coming from. I think I understand what it is we're trying to achieve here. What we're trying to achieve, is this it? Oh, I'm correct? Okay, good. In that case, this is how my product, this is how my service, this is how my whatever will help you achieve this and this, and will help you in this your present circumstance. The best proposal is not a matter of technique. It's not a matter of writing style. It's not a matter of technology. It's not about PowerPoint presentations and all that. So I'm not saying PowerPoint presentations are bad. But if your PowerPoint presentation doesn't answer these simple questions, if it doesn't show the customer that you understand them, that you know the problem that they're dealing with, that you understand the vision that they're trying to achieve, that you understand the destination that they are trying to go to, and if your proposal is not able to answer that question, that this is what my product or my service is going to do for you, sir, or do for you, madam, then you do not have the best proposal. So let's stop focusing on the technical aspects and on technology. Let's just make sure that we're able to adequately understand what it is that the customer wants. We understand what their problem is. We know where they're going to. Then we get some feedback on that. Then, giving your tool of choice. If you prefer WhatsApp, if you prefer PowerPoint, if you prefer email, if you prefer, whatever it is. So giving your tool of choice. If you can just simply show that you understand them and show that this is what your product or service will do, then you'll be fine. So in order to have the best proposal, we need to engage in need analysis. Need analysis just means, from a technical standpoint, there are a couple of things that you need to know before you deliver a solution. So therefore, you have to run through that whole process with them. So for people who are involved in solar, technical analysis means you need to understand how many TV, how many deep freezer, how many rooms, how many bulbs, then what are they trying to do? Do they want to use the AC overnight? B, do they want to make sure that everything is fully powered during the day? Then at night, everybody, they just off everything and then they just sleep with fan. We need to understand exactly what it is that they are trying to do. And then if you're in solar sales, you need to understand what's going on. Is the person trying to power a plant? Is the person trying to power an office? You need to know exactly what is going on. So, from your technical checklist, you need to find a way of engaging in that conversation. The same thing if you're an architect, you need to, technically speaking, what the architects need to know. Okay, I guess you need to know what the purpose of the building is, from a functional perspective, but get out your checklist and make sure that you have that conversation. Now, the fact that I'm saying you need to have the checklist and have the conversation does not mean that you turn this thing into an interrogation. You have to keep it conversational. Because if you make this thing an interrogation, the average Nigerian person is going to be like, bros, this is your question, self. This is your jam question. I don't understand. So keep the questions conversational. And then whenever people are like, this is your question, self, we always have to refocus to say, oh, bros, madam, I beg no vex. The reason why I'm asking you all these questions is because I like to take the best care of my customers and I would like to make sure that one is one. So, madam, the reason why I'm asking you all these questions is because when I design this house, I want to design it one time and design it according to your spec. So that once I just drop it, bam, we have everything like that. This one, no go come. I want to make sure that I understand your vision correct. So whenever people are like, bros, this is your question. Because the last person I spoke to didn't ask questions. And yes, this is something you will hear a lot. You will hear this a lot. Because lots of people in Nigeria come up with proposals without asking anybody any single question. And that's terrible. Because I've said in the previous podcast and I'm saying it again. You give somebody a proposal, you didn't ask question. That is when you run into those situations where, for a project, you bill somebody 4 million. By the time you start, you realize that you need like 6.5 million to complete the project. You didn't ask questions in the beginning. How did you know that the proposal that you were sending was adequate? How do you know? The answer is you don't. So, what you do is get out that checklist. Yes, people will complain because other professionals in Nigeria are not asking questions. Use that to set yourself apart. Explain to the prospect, explain to the potential customer, madam, no vex. The reason why I'm asking you all this kind of question is because I just want to make sure that by the time we design this your solar system, by the time I design this your house, by the time I do this XYZ, I want to make sure that one is one because I take care of all my customers. I want to make sure that we're going to deliver something that is up to spec, that is up to par for you. So I want to make sure that I understand the vision. I want to understand exactly what it is that you are going through. Explain it like that. Once you explain and you refocus from the customer's point of view, a lot of people are going to be much more patient to hear you out. Worst case scenario, somebody will be like, oh, you know what? I have a meeting, can we reschedule? Maybe just come to the office on Thursday. Let's talk some more. So, where was I? So we need to engage in need analysis. From a technical point of view, you know all the things you need to ask. So have your checklist. But remember, keep it conversational and then always refocus back on the needs of the customer. Madam, Oga, bros, sister, the reason why I'm doing this is I'm just trying to keep it focused on you. I want to deliver the best. So you must do need analysis. You must do a client consultation, like we used to call it back when I graduated as a baby lawyer from Obafemi Awolowo University. You guys do client consultation. So as a lawyer, we always had to sit down. We didn't just show up and say, oh, madam, what's the issue? Then we now start writing letter up and down and then start going to court. As lawyers, we were trained to be able to, get them to start talking. Say, madam, so what can I do for you today? And then madam will start from the beginning. That, when we were growing up in the village, my father had many wives. Their mother was the preferred wife and this and this and that and that. You won't believe they did jazz for us. They did this, they did. The person will talk the whole life story for 4 hours. But it's important because you're going to get the whole background and you're going to be able to figure out what are the most important factors that you need to consider, because now you understand how this quarrel started, who the main parties are, what the main legal issues are, and then stuff like that. So that's how we were trained as baby lawyers back in the day. Client consultation. We get the client to sit down, we get them to talk. So it's not as if we bring a paper and a pad and then we have a checklist and, we keep it easy, we keep it conversational. As the client just they vomit everything that is on their mind, we'll now be able to see that, okay, we're in a polygamous situation, there's tension between this family and that family, and the man died intestate. intestate means without a will. The man died, the man didn't leave a will, and so these are the tensions that are happening here and here and here and there. So you must do client consultation. So whatever it is you call it, need analysis, client consultation, client briefing, client session, client onboarding, clients, people call it different things according to different industry. Whatever it is, you can't skip this step. This step is a prerequisite. Once you achieve this step and you're able to deliver the best proposal, then these are some of the things that will help you to be able to close the deal. So if you're an architect, make sure you understand the client. Make sure you understand their design goals. Make sure you understand the project outcomes and things like that. Then you'll be able to put together the best proposal. So if Madame is talking to 3 of you and she wants one of you to design the factory, all 3 of you are saying we're the best. But you are the only person who has demonstrated in your proposal that you understand exactly what it is that Madame is trying to achieve from this architectural design. These are the things that will put you in the forerunner and make it easier for you to close the deal. Also about the beeping in the background. I set an alarm, so it's been 15 minutes. I was hoping I would be done in 10. Anyway, sorry, sometimes I run over. All right, so where was that? Yes, so having the best solution, being the best designer, importing directly from China, or, being the best is not going to be enough to make you be able to close the deal. You have to make sure that you have the best proposal on the table, and the best proposal on the table is the one that demonstrates to the customer, to the client, all right, that I understand you, I understand the problem, and this is how my product or my service is going to work within these present circumstances to give you what it is that you desire. Then it's not enough to have the best solution, to import from the best, to import directly from the manufacturer, to have graduated first class and all that, if you are not the easiest person to understand and if you're not the easiest person to relate with. So we have to make it easy for people to understand us and easy for people to relate with us. That is one reason why I tell smart boys and girls, because lots of us who listen to this podcast are incredibly smart. We've gone to school, we've graduated with fancy degrees, we've all gone abroad, we have master's degrees. We can, how will I put it, we're not lightweight. And so because of that, when we're having conversation with people, we want people to know that, look, no be my, as in, I'm not an anyhow, like I'm a graduate and you must know it, you must feel it. I'm not saying you shouldn't be proud, because it's not easy now to go and do masters. Some of you have 2-3 master's degrees. So I'm not saying don't flaunt. I'm just saying, make it easy to understand yourself and make yourself relatable. So keep all jargon to a minimal. And that's one thing that the former solar salesperson, I had to try and tell him to understand that, look, you're trying to do the best job you can and you're technically minded. And I'm your coach and I've done some small research. But even for me, I honestly don't understand what an up cycle is and what a down cycle is, or what a megahertz is, or a kilowatt, or a wattage, or something. Like, I don't understand those terms. And I'm with you and I'm spending time with you every day and I still don't get it. Now imagine you're now talking to somebody like my momsy. All momsy knows is that she wants there to be power 24/7. You now go to yarn up cycle, down cycle, kilowattage, something. Like, it's too much. You're not easy to understand. You're not easy to relate with. So for those of you who are very good technically minded, that is the reason why people that graduated third class, that you know them, that they don't know anything, that they're empty heads, that's the reason why they're closing the deal. Even though their brain is empty. It's because at least they're easy to understand, they're easy to relate to, they break it down in the way that the client will understand and everybody will flow with. So jargon, please, keep jargon to a minimal. By the way, this whole thing of jargon is relative. When you're talking to somebody who is in the space, then by all means, enjoy. By all means, enjoy. Like, I even had to advise the guy. There was one time he was talking to somebody who actually was in the the renewable space, and so this person knew all those sorts of things. In that case, flow freely, upcycle, downtime, kilowatt, megahertz, continue to say. In that case, you're making yourself easy to understand because this guy is on the technical level. You're on the technical level. Begin the flow. The guy will be like, finally a human being who understands. But you match the conversation according to the level of the prospect who is in front of you. Make yourself easy to understand, make yourself relatable. Then you also need to learn how to build rapport. I need to learn how to be able to build commonality. Now, to build rapport, sorry, I didn't say that right. You have to be able to build rapport. Now, you build rapport by just establishing commonality. Commonality just means you and me, we're the same. You know, I feel you, you feel me. These things are important in business. It lubricates business. It keeps the wheels of business going. Excuse me. So, one way that you achieve that just simply is just talking about the person's personal history. So, who is this person? Who is this person? Their personal history or the history of the problem. In talking about those sorts of things, there are just some common things that just come out. Even if nothing common comes out, the very fact that you are talking about the person or talking about their background or the background of the problem or the scope of the problem, it makes the person feel like they are being listened to. Especially in the Nigerian context, because your competition is not asking them anything. This is what your competition does. Your competition will show up. Madam will say, I want to build a factory. And then they will say, okay, madam, what factory is it? It's for poultry. It's for chickens. Okay, no problem. How many square feet? Okay, no problem. Madam, what we do is for golden package, we charge, 1.5 million per square feet. For silver package, we charge 800k per square feet. For bronze package, we charge 500k per square feet. Which package are you interested in? By the way, I didn't study architecture, so forgive me, because I know that some of those things don't make sense from a technical point of view, but you get my point. That's what the average Nigerian does. Oh, madam, okay, no problem. We have bronze package, we have silver package, we have platinum package. Madam, which one do you want? People don't feel listened to or feel appreciated. When you come and then you start asking questions, oh, so madam, what's the product? Chicken, you say, madam, chickens? But I know you're a medical doctor. How come you got involved in the chicken space? Oh, well, my mom used to raise chickens, blah, blah, blah. It's something that I'm used to, a personal something, blah, 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 blah. You begin the flow. The woman said, I want to build a factory. Before you know it now, you're now talking about her family history and how her mom used to raise chickens. During the conversation, if you say, oh yeah, actually I grew up in the village and my mom used to raise chickens too. Can you see area of commonality? The other person that just came and said, I have gold package, silver package, bronze package. How would the person stand out? They don't. But at least you, the time that you call again, the woman will think, oh, is that nice young man whose mom also reared chickens? You see? Commonality. You build rapport. Because you're asking some questions about the person, you're asking some questions about the project, you're tapping into the history. Even if find one single element of commonality, at least the person feels like they've been listened to. So that the next time you call, say, oh, is that young gentleman from Lagos? Or is that correct babe from Lagos? That one that I had a wonderful conversation with, you stand out. So, it's not just enough to have the best solution, to be the best in the class, to be the best in, to import directly from USA or from China or from Russia or wherever. If you are not easy to understand, if you're not easy to relate with, these are one of the things that are going to stop you from closing that deal. So, assuming we have the best solution, assuming we have put together the best proposal, assuming we have been easy to understand and easy to relate with, if we do not have the skill of gaining advancement just means we know how to move the deal forward one step at a time. If we don't have the skill in gaining advancements, the thing will enter ghosting. Or somebody will say, let me think about it. So we need to come up with skills to learn how to plot the steps in the sale, how to move things forward one step at a time. Now, sorry about that chicken, crowing in the background. But like I said, I'm out and about. Where was I? Sorry, forgive me. That chicken just distracted me. So, yes. Plotting the steps to how the sale is going to close. Now, I did not study architecture, but this is my own assumption that if I was an architect, this is how I'll go about it now when it comes to gaining advancements. First of all, sales or complex sales are not closed in one meeting. I repeat, there are too many of you who are running around who assume that you can close a complex sale in one meeting. It is not possible. The problem with complex sales is things are expensive. There are lots of steps that are involved. There are lots of things that people have to understand, and then there are lots of decision makers involved. So people actually do need time to consider a bunch of stuff. So you actually have to move this thing forward one small step at a time. Every single time you call madam, every single time you call Oga, every single time you call the potential customer, we are trying to just achieve one thing and one thing only. Once we achieve that one thing, all the rest, we will, what's that word again? I can't remember. We will push it to the next one. So there's always an agenda for the next call and for the next call and for the next call. Then when we're going through all the issues, we'll now try and close the deal. So let's say you get the phone number from somebody. Let's say Momsy wants to help you now in your architecture business. You graduated. Momsy wants to help you. Momsy gives you a phone number. The first thing is the call. We're just calling to introduce ourselves, and we're calling to break the ice, and we're calling to now try and hook up a future meeting, because we cannot close everything on the phone because the talk is plenty. We're talking about designing a house now. We can't talk everything today and finish on the phone and then collect our money. Okay, sorry, the alarm just went off again. Oh dear, okay, 30 minutes, then bring it to a close. So, as the architect now, that my first phone call is, good morning, ma. Am I speaking to Dr. Deaconess, what name should I call now? Kemi. Am I speaking to Dr. Deaconess Chief Kemi Bankole? Say yes. Who is he speaking? Oh, my name is David Oedokun. I got your number from my mom, who happens to be your classmate, Juliet, from Government Girls Secondary School, Ogbomosho. Say, hey, you're Juliet's son. Yes. Hey, how is Juliet now? It's been a long time. Oh, yeah, yes, ma, she's fine, blah, 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 blah. You see? Commonality, rapport. By the way, whenever somebody gives you a referral, you need to talk that referral up. Too many people get referrals and don't even mention it. Last week, the client that I'm talking to right now, who is in the ad tech space, somebody gave him an introduction. They said, call this person in so company. The person called and then started the conversation. And, after a while, I was like, bro, this thing that was a referral, when you called this person, did you say Chief so gave me your number? The guy said, oh, actually, I didn't. See, it is a cardinal sin. You're trying to close this deal. Somebody made a referral. My friend, talk this thing up. If Chief so say you should call, that's the first thing you will say on the call. My name is Kunle Adigun, or my name is Nasir Abdul Kadir, and Alhaji so said I should call you because they said, oh, Alhaji so, and then the conversation will flow. If it's a referral, talk it up, mention it. So, as the architect, that'll be my first thing. Call, get acquainted, this is how I got your phone number, rapport, that kind of thing. So, mommy says that you want to build a factory for a chicken, blah, 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 blah. That's the reason why I'm calling, so that I can see how I can be of some help. So, okay, no problem, my son. Thank you very much for coming. Okay, ma, to make sure that I do the best job for you, we actually do need to have a meeting, because there are some questions I need to ask you so I understand the scope of the project. You say, we'll need to have a meeting. Oh, yes, ma. Yes, ma. In fact, if I can come to your office tomorrow, 8 o'clock, won't be a problem. So, oh, no, I'm actually in Ogbomosho now. We're doing reunion. Oh, yes, Momsy mentioned. We have all traveled for it. Oh, okay, my mom is not going. Any problem? Oh, no, ma, she's just tired. Oh, okay, greet her for me. So, okay, the reunion is finishing next week. I'll be back in Lagos, some. From all that small talk, you're just trying to narrow down a time. How about Wednesday, ma? Oh, okay, no problem. Wednesday, is it morning? I'll be his afternoon. No, I won't be around until like around that kind 3, 4. Okay, it's no problem, ma. I can come to your office 3 o'clock sharp. Would that be okay? Yes, ma. Good. You have achieved the purpose for that call. You see, advancement, one step. Phone call, introduce yourself, some familiarity. Then, sell the meeting and agree to the meeting date. The person has agreed. Bam, you end the call. That's it. You have achieved one thing. That is what we call an advancement. Then, at the meeting, the goal is to do, remember what I said at the beginning of the episode, the goal is to do need analysis, or to do client consultation, or to do client debrief, or to do client XYZ, or to do client whatever it is that you call it in your own industry or in your own profession. That is what the goal is to do at that meeting. Gather information. Then in that case, the advance will now be, okay, ma, thank you very much. I've gotten a lot of information. I will need a couple of days to think through all these things so I can come back with a proposal, specific proposal, so that we can talk through. Would that be okay, ma? Okay, yes, no problem. So in that case, will you be free maybe like next week, Thursday? Oh, sure. What from us? Thursday? I'm not sure, but just call me a day before. Okay, no problem, ma. In that case, I will call you Wednesday before 12 in the afternoon just to confirm that we're good for Thursday. Okay, no problem. It's good. You see? That is another, that is another advancement. You have to push things forward one step. So, before you present your proposal or any of the proposals you have on the table, you need to get some feedback or some confirmation that you understand everything correctly. So, in fact, I would even prefer, sorry, the alarm has gone off again. Okay, this is almost 35 minutes. All right. And then let me just continue. I've already overshot time. So I would even prefer that is during the first meeting you even gain feedback. So, madam, if I understand correctly, this is what you're trying to build. The factory is going to be blah, blah, blah. You have X number of layers. You have this, that, just make sure you understand the project. The goal is you want madam to say yes, obviously. But the goal is also you want madam to say, no, this is not what I have in mind. The reason why we want madam to say, no, this is not what I have in mind when we misunderstand is because if you are running with some assumptions and you don't test out all those assumptions, then you deliver a proposal. You can see that is where question mark will now come during your presentation, because you'll be saying something that is not blending with what madam had in mind. You'll be saying this course of action, that course of action, and the thing will be choking madam's spirit. The reason why madam is not flowing with the proposal is because you did not get feedback, you did not get confirmation that your assumptions were correct. And so because of that, you're putting forward a design, you're proposing a course of action, you're proposing a product, you're proposing a service, you're proposing a solution, you're proposing a something, and that thing just does not blend. It just does not jive with the potential customer's spirit. They're uncomfortable. They just don't know how or why. It's because you have too many assumptions in there. So when we're trying to get feedback, it's nice when we hear yes. But if we hear no, it is also a good thing. We say, oh, ma, sorry. Can we start from the top? I had assumed you meant this. So can you explain properly what it is that you meant? So when somebody says no, it's a good thing. This is a chance to make sure that when you come back with your proposal will be strong. Very strong. Foolproof. And remember what I said. The other people that madam is talking to, the other 3 or 4 people, they are not going through this process. Can you see how, even though all of you be shouting, you have the best solution, you have the best qualification, you're getting from the OEM, original equipment manufacturer, all of you are shouting the same thing. It is only your own proposal that will stand out. Because your proposal is speaking directly to the main point. It's going straight to the heart of the matter. And they'll feel like, this person is a competent professional. This is the engineer that understands. Or this is the architect that understands. Or this is the lawyer that understands. Or this is the doctor that understands. Because your course of action is not based on assumption. It's because you've gained some feedback. You've gained some confirmation. So you're speaking directly to the truth of the matter. So, if you do feedback, confirmation, and everything blend, all join, good. Advancement, next step will now be, okay, madam, can we see again next week so that we can discuss a couple of proposals? I'll be able to come up with 3 proposals. Each of them should be adequate to meet, so and so problem. But, I just want to give you the most flexibility, I just want to preserve some flexibility for you in terms of cost and in terms of scope of the project. So, madam, are you okay for Thursday next week? If madam is okay, she will say yes. If not, she will say, oh no, come to the farm on Saturday, meet me directly on the field. If that's the case, all well and good. By the way, we salespeople, we business people, we should learn to work with momentum. There are some of you who we think, I'm a professional architect. Madam said I should come and meet her on the field. Excuse me. If good money is involved, and Madam said come and meet me on the field, well, go and see how you can make it work. Yes, ideally, it would be nice to deliver your proposal or to deliver your presentation in an AC office with a full, 50-inch screen, widescreen TV, HD, something with HDMI plug-in and all that. Yes, ideally, that would be the best situation. But look, money is involved. Good money. If Madam says, I'm only free Saturday when I'm on the farm, look, go to the farm. Make it work. This is why Brian Tracy says creativity is involved in sales. My friend, make it work. Ideally, it would be nice to do this in the cool AC. But if Madam says I'm on the farm, how for do? Make it work. So, that is another example of an advancement. We've been able to get the next meeting. So, it is from pushing things forward, one meeting after another, one appointment after another, one item of agenda after another. Small. Now we go close the sale. That's how we do it. So, it's almost 40 minutes. Yes, I know the alarm went off again. That's for those of you who can hear it. So, summary, there are lots of things involved. But I just wanted to make today's episode, just to let you guys know. For those of you who have the best, because I know it can be very confusing, that you are importing directly from Russia. There is no other product that meets this specification because you have imported directly from manufacturer in Russia, and everybody knows that the Russian equipment is the best, or the Chinese blah 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 is the best, or the Ghanaian palm oil is the best, or whatever, or you graduated first class and then from there you went to New York Institute of Design and all whatnot, so clearly you are the best in Nigeria. So it can be very, very confusing when you are the best or when you have the best. But then the deal, they close. These are some of the other things you need to consider. The proposal that you issued, was it the best? Yes, you are the best. But your proposal, was it the best? Do your proposal speak to their problems? Have you been easy to understand? Have you been easy to relate with? Have you been good at gaining advancements, moving this deal forward one small step at a time? These are some of the reasons why your deal, they close. So, stop being confused. Yes, you are the best, you are the brightest, you are the smartest. Nobody read past you, or nobody get this skill past you. And when we know they argue that one, it's not an argument. You've imported from the best place in the world. It's not an argument. These are some of the things that are holding you back. Unfortunately, in this part of the world, we were raised, that's Nigeria, we've been raised to believe that if you are the best, then go call you, then go to pursue you. Unfortunately, that's not the case. It's not the person who is the best that everybody will be running to. This whole thing of build a better mousetrap and they will come. That's not, there's some element of truth there, but it's not 100%. Alright, so it's not just about being the best. We also need to learn how to sell ourselves. We also need to learn how to promote ourselves. And that is the reason why. In fact, for those of you in the legal space, because while I was a practicing lawyer, I used to see it a lot. I don't know if it happens in other professions, but you hear some lawyers, they'll be saying that, so this is so and so, San. That San is a senior advocate of Nigeria. It's a title, a prestigious title that is awarded by... what's the body again? Is it Body of Benchers? I can't remember anyway, but it's a prestigious title that says you are a very good lawyer, essentially. But then some people, they will stay in court and will say, this person where they yarn, na san be this? That truly, is this guy the best? That see him. The guy can't even speak English, he can't do this, he can't... Yes, no problem. Yes, in your own mind, you're looking at him, you say that, is this a son? Me, I'm better than this person. I am more eloquent than this person. Is it this one that is son? This person that graduated third class when we were in school, meanwhile I graduated first class. He will now be in front of me. They will give his matter priority in court because he is San. Meanwhile, the guy is Olodo. The guy knows nothing. That's the reason why. He's a San today because the guy knows the game. He knows how to sell himself. Well, you graduated first class. You didn't know how to sell yourself well. That's the reason why you're in court, looking at your inferiors, in quote, having their matters heard before you. They're charging in thousands of dollars. You're still struggling to be charging in hundreds of thousands of naira. That's the reason why. Alright, so let me end it here. So, if you are in this situation, you're always worried. I have the best. I am the brightest. I am the whatever. I have the whatever. But I'm not able to close these deals. Call me. Send me a text message or a WhatsApp message on 080-6466-2140. Let's figure out where your sales process is broken. For those of you who are afraid, you don't want to call because you say this guy sounds expensive. That's not a problem. I'm reasonably priced. Apart from that, I answer everybody. I answer one question for free. So just reach out and think real hard and fast about what you want your one question to be. So that's it. Thank you very much for your time and attention. I'll catch you all at the next episode.